everybody, Brad here with Arizona Grows. Welcome back to my garden. Everything in here is looking absolutely phenomenal, and I know for you it looks crazy different because in YouTube time it's only been 3 days, but it's been a full week since the last video in real time. So everything in here looks different, way different. The buds are starting to get fat. This forbidden Runtz in the front here, front middle, is probably the closest one finishing. Second closest one probably be the Detroit Runtz in the front, or maybe the 41 Zlushies in the back. Furthest ones away are my plant from Daz that you can see super cropped over there in the corner of the frame, and then also probably this animal mince cake might be the second furthest one back. And then the only one that might be, I don't even want to call it disappointing because it smells really nice so far, but slightly not as well as the permanent marker. It's the only one I'm not going to grow again based off the structure. So that's where we're at with that. Everything else in here is just looking absolutely phenomenal, guys. I can't say enough how happy I am with the way this round turned out. We're going to have some announcements coming up for the next round. I don't like to announce anything until I know it's totally settled and in hand. So, we might have some announcements coming up. If we do, they're going to be super cool. So, I don't want to make them sound less cool because I'm not talking about them yet. But I think, we might have a couple things for the next round that are popping up. Could be pretty interesting. I'm excited about it, but everything in this round has gone absolutely phenomenal. The plants are looking great. You can see this one right next to me over here, super cropped, already stood all the way back up. I mean, can you remember when we had this one? It was down here, and it lifted itself back up in a higher position. Now it's not at its full height because it would be even higher, but it lifted up and it made a big knuckle. And I can show you the knuckle when we come over to this side. And then this animal mint cake, all of it's tall. I don't get up to this top part very often. All of it looks phenomenal. We have the 2 branches over here that we also super crop that are slowly lifting back up. This one had more strength to it because it was the tallest branch, so it was the apex branch. And then when we built it down, it was like, no, I have to get back up. Everything on this this forbidden Runtz here is going well. It's the furthest along. It's starting to put out some smells. The Detroit Runtz in the front smells sweeter, and it's really nice. The one that looks like it's probably going to have the biggest buds is the 41 Zlushies from Raw in the back. It's putting out some big donkers, but right next to it is that golden goat from Irie, and that thing has a top on it that looks like it's going to be like a wide flat nug, but it is a big top, which is kind of exciting. So that's it, man. The tent this week we did water in. Last night I watered in some of the Build the Soil BTI. We're going to work on that. So we did the Build the Soil BTI. Any fungus gnats, keep that stuff going especially as we go into flower. And then we also watered in a little bit of Build a Bloom. I'm talking, I have a spoon in my room, just like a regular kitchen spoon. Probably like a half of a spoonful. So probably in the tablespoon range. Tablespoon of Build a Bloom. Quarter of that of Build a Veg, and then Rootwise Biophos, and the mosquito BTI, or the mosquito dunks is what I'm used to, but the Build the Soil BTI for fungus gnats and stuff. So that's what I did. Not a big feeding, guys. Wasn't trying to overload them. Most of these plants look great in color. None of them are showing any deficiencies. The soil. We did that last top dress as we went through stretch. It was a really heavy top dress. I'm not seeing a single deficiency. And based off where these plants are in their structure and finishing, I don't think I'm going to do another feeding. But I might. Next week, I might, just on these bigger ones. Like this Forbidden Runtz isn't going to need it. It's too far along. But this animal mint cake in the back might need it in the beds, just because they're the beds and each of them have 4 plants in them right now. They might need a little boost. But I mean, the Zlushies, the far bed probably doesn't. I think it has enough. So the bed with the sea tester from Daz in it, I think, is going to be fine and not need anything like that. But this middle bed with the Gorilla Goat, that's a slower finisher, the Sherb Cake, the Blackout Bobby, it might need just a tiny bit. So maybe we'll hit up 2 of them, just a little craft blend. Probably that's it. But that's where we're at, guys. Everything looks great in here. I'm so happy to share this with you. Hopefully we'll have some cool announcements coming up. We've been working on a few things. And sad news, I guess, if there is any sad news, I had Houston to win last night. And on their last 2 possessions, they didn't even get up a shot. It was really sad. If they won, I would have won, like $450 or something, $500. It would have been cool for my pool, but I didn't, so no big deal. Next year, we'll see what's going to happen. I mean, a lot of those guys in Houston, I'm not sure unless they're seniors that they'll be leaving, because I don't think their draft stock was high, and I don't think, the way they played in the last 2 games of the tournament probably didn't raise it a lot. So, I mean, they could be back next year for another run, which would be crazy. Interested to see what U of A is going to put together. We lost a lot of guys in the transfer portal, 4 guys, but we did pick up some guys. So it'll be interesting, I guess. College basketball is this whole new thing now. It's not like guys come to your school a lot of times and stay for 4 or 5 years. It's just like you might get a guy for a year, maybe you get him for a year or 2, and you just have to kind of enjoy that time and then be ready to move on from those players and move on to somebody else, who's coming in. So it's different. It's more like professional sports now, I guess. But that's okay. I still had a great time. This was a great March Madness. It was, I guess all 4 number 1 seeds made it, which isn't always as exciting. But then the top 2 seeds went down, right? So then the other seeds played the other, the bottom 2 number 1 seeds battled it out, and I thought that was cool. So whatever, I had a good time, even though I didn't win any money. That was the only sad news I had on an update. Everything in here is just looking really good. I did see a post from Daz every October has Hoodoo Moses come in and bless like a thing of seeds that they put out. It's pretty cool. He does a blessing on them. He lights them on fire. As part of the blessing, he does this thing, and then they get packaged up and sent out, and they all still germinate and stuff. It's super awesome. But his father's going through some stuff in the hospital right now. So just thoughts and prayers for him, for his dad. That would be great. That's it, man. That's the only thing. On the gardening front, everything's looking good. Inside, outside. Maybe some cool announcements coming up. Let's take a trip around the room. Let's get some close-ups, guys. Take a look at all these plants. I'll see you in a minute. And we are back. Just take a look at this Forbidden Runtz here. It's coming along. It's probably the farthest along in the tent. This is what I was talking about earlier. You can see it's already starting to get colors. It's looking really, really good. These are turning into nice thick nugs. I haven't seen any problems with this plant. It's starting to put out a few smells. Fantastic so far. Just absolutely been a great grow. Tiki cuts for this. And then over here you can start to see this is the animal mince cake. This is that one branch we super cropped. Remember, it was flat, basically flat, and now it's, you can see the frost on the edges of the leaves from this shot. That's actually kind of cool. Wish I could take a picture like that. But you can see it's not flat anymore. It was totally flat. Kind of like these that we super cropped in the back. You can see This one here is flat, and then there's one in the back there that's flat. But if these stand up a little bit like that one did, that'd be awesome. I kind of expect it now. And you can see through this whole forest in the back. We have the gorilla goat from Irie. I don't even know if you can see it through here. Maybe if we come down here. Yes, and this is something I do where instead of doing like stuff when they get too big, because I didn't put up a second layer of trellis, which this probably could have used, what I do is I just kind of tie the branches together with this gardening wire, and then I save it and use it again in the next round. But if you get like an anchor branch here, this is anchored to the thing in a couple different ways, right? So this branch is not going to move. Then I tie this branch to it, this branch to it, and then you got other anchors in the back. And that's what's keeping these off the wall and standing straight up back there. But this animal mint cake, I mean, guys, this is a 7-gallon pot. It's not all the way full. It's probably too big for what it's in, but it's been absolutely phenomenal. Doesn't have any deficiencies. Fantastic, just fantastic plant. And then we have the Forbidden Runtz again. Just absolutely been great. This one's probably going to be the first one to finish. You can just tell it's already putting out the red hairs and the colors and stuff. And then let's swing back around to the other side. There's my shelf full of stuff over here. I build all my stuff with Royal Gold Cocoa and Ole Mountain, and then I add my own castings and craft blend. Gaia Green. That Canadian stuff might get more expensive now. Not sure. And that also might be something that doesn't happen for a while. This is the Daz plant. I think right after that last video, we super cropped it. Maybe that same morning, like after I shot the video. This has been about a week. You can tell it did the same thing. It started to lift itself back up. But in this one, because we're close, you can get a little look at that knuckle that formed when we did it. This plant's super interesting. Remember how small this sea tester was? It was down here. I didn't think we were going to get this much out of it. It's been a weird little plant. Started to throw out some singles on those buds, almost like a re-veg, but it didn't re-veg. But it had a strange life. But we got a clone of it, and if it smells good going into the cure tent, maybe we'll get to run it again. In other news, we have our other 3. We're going to do a seed to harvest video for the first time with those, so you won't get to see the other tent as much. We're going to do one less check-in on the auto today, the SOS in there, and the Blue Power auto. Probably chop those tonight. But just wanted to say we have another 3 sea testers in cups ready to go. That's going to be the next round in the 4x4. Instead of doing autos and using it as a veg tent, we're going to bust out some testers for Daz in there. That should be fun. And he's been so kind and great to the channel. I think it would be fun to just get those out and really put a full grow into them, get them some serious stuff on them, unlike, you know, these that started super small. I mean, the other sea tester you can see is way down here. Just got crowded out, I think. Then there's the smaller 41 Zlushies right behind it. Also kind of got crowded out. But then you come to the back side of the tent, and we have this big 41 Zlushies, man. Look at these nogs on it. Just freaking everywhere. Big little towers. You can see the one in the back. And then over here, again, great plant. So far, smells great, like some kind of, I don't want to say like citrusy soda, something. It's got some unique flavor. I'm really into it. So got a clone of that. That'll be nice. This is the Detroit Runtz here in the front. Still a big plant. Little bit smaller than the Forbidden Runtz, but that could simply be because it's in a container with 4 other plants again. Kind of like the kind of like the 41 Zlushies in the back. But this one's all the way in the front. Had some really good spacing. I mean, if you come down here, you can see like this pretty small stem for the C tester, but this is the bigger C tester. And then there's the smaller C tester and the smaller 41 Zlushies. But then if you come back, look at the trunk on the big 41 Zlushies. I mean, it's like there's no wonder it's putting out stuff, right? And then same thing. Here you got a massive, pretty good trunk on this Detroit Runtz. And then the Sherb cake was just that weird clone, so it kind of looks a little funny coming out in two different ways. And then the other two, the Black Owl Bobby and the Gorilla Goat, look absolutely phenomenal back there. That Animal Mints cake and the Forbidden Runtz also have some trunks on them. And then you come over here to the, you know, permanent marker, and it's probably the smallest. We're gonna get rid of this right now. Playing in there. Some of these little things, like these are things, guys, when you see these little sucker things pop up, get rid of this stuff. You don't want that stuff on there. There's one back in here. It smells really nice though, but the permanent marker is clearly the smallest thing in here. Had the weirdest growth. Maybe it'd be worth it if you were going to breed it with something like the Sherb cake that had some better body to it. I don't know, it smells really nice, but the 41 Zlushy smells better, and it's putting out these massive cones. You know, there's a little more leaf on that than I would like. But I mean, really, if you wanted to, you could fem that, breed it to itself, and then find one with the least, you know, leaves and breed that back to itself and probably come out with something really nice. Man, just look at that Animal Mint cake, guys. Look at this thing. Like, what is that? That's in a 7-gallon container. That plant is absolutely huge. Forbidden Runtz, also right there, looking great. That's here. We can get that golden goat now. Look at this thing. Look at this thing, guys. Besides the frost on it, just look at that nug. It's like, I am a super nug. And then I'm pretty sure this is the Black Owl Bobby right here. And then somewhere in there is the Sherb cake. And then we come back to the Detroit Runtz in the front. And then the sea tester from Daz. It's just ever since we super cropped it, it's been absolutely loving life. We super cropped it because the fan was right there and it was right up in front of it. And also was still stretching as these buds were forming. And I was afraid it was going to go right up into the light. So I think it all worked out pretty well. You can see the lights right there. But this is the tent. This is where we're at this week. And that's all for the video. Brad here. Arizona Grows. Happy growing.